What is going on, everybody? Dan with Gear Focus here, and today I've got a lighting tutorial video for you. Our good friends over at Lume Cube sent us out their new studio panel lighting kit, so I thought, what a better opportunity to show you guys how to light a YouTube talking head. So actually, this shot right now is using this studio lighting kit. So let's go ahead and dive right in, and I'll show you exactly how I set this up. So this is kind of my starting point. I have the Canon R5 with the 15 to 35 f2.8 attached to it. The aperture right now is set at f2.8, and I have my shutter speed set at 1/60 since I'm shooting in 30 frames per second. And I also have my ISO set to 800, which is the base ISO for C-Log3, and really all that means is that's where I'm going to get the most dynamic range out of my camera. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to establish our key light or our main light. And generally speaking, I like to have my camera positioned on the same side of my subject as my key light. So the light and the camera are essentially coming from the same side. Now, if I had my camera on the other side, so if I had my camera flipped over here, or if I had my light flipped over to this side, that would be shooting on the dark side.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Now, shooting on the dark side lets you have a bit more contrast to your image, and it gives it a little bit more of a darker kind of feel, whereas having everything on the light side gives everything a nice kind of bright look. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop my key light on right now. All right, so that's my first key light. I have it set to 5600 Kelvin right now. So as you can see, this will give us a little bit of shadow on the far side of my face, so that helps add a little bit of depth to the subject. So now that we've got the key light on, we've got our subject lit nice and bright. But the downside of that is now our whole image is kind of flat, and there's not really any separation between me, the subject, and the background. Now, the easiest way to do that would be with a backlight, and luckily this kit comes with two different panels. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on the second panel in the back. All right, so that's what it looks like with the background light on as well. And now you can see that I have a decent amount of separation between me, the subject again, and the background. Brightening up that background, we get a little bit of highlight here, and that separates me with my dark shirt from the background. So this is already a huge improvement from where we started, but I think we can make it look a little bit better. So like I mentioned before, these lights are bicolor, so I'm going to use a little bit of color temperature theory and see if I can't get the background to look a little better. So I went ahead and I turned that background light all the way down to 3200 Kelvin just to give me a little bit of color contrast. So it's going to give me a little bit more of an orange light on my background, and with the blue wall on the back, it helps with that contrast as well. Now, I do have that light sitting at 100%, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down and see if that makes a difference as well. So I turned that backlight down to about 55%, and that helped with the overexposure that was happening on the back wall, causing it to look a little bit brighter. So now you can see we have a little bit better of an orange cast on that wall back there. But if you notice, my skin tones, they look really purple, especially like on this side of my face, and it doesn't really look all that great. So I'm gonna take this 5600 Kelvin light and I'm gonna turn it down a little bit to help match these overhead lights a little bit more, which probably sits somewhere around 4500 Kelvin. So I turned our key light down to 5000 Kelvin to kind of split the difference between our color temperature change in the background and the overhead lights on the ceiling. So this looks a ton better than it did when we started this video out, and it's only with two lights. It's just the two 20-watt studio panels from Lume Cube. So this just goes to show you don't need a ton of lighting gear in order to get really good looking talking heads for YouTube. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for the video today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you have any questions about lighting or anything like that, go ahead and put them down in those comments down below. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button with the bell notification so that you're notified when we release new content. We're trying to come out with content on a regular weekly basis now, so we want to make sure that you guys are seeing all of that when it's released. But that's going to do it for me today. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, Gear Focus is always here to help you feed your passion.